Locked On NHL's coverage of NHL free agency continues. The Pittsburgh Penguins make multiple moves here, and Hunter Hodes of Locked On Penguins is with us now to react to the moves and break down what it means for the team. And let's start in goal. Tristan Jarry is back. Your thoughts on this re-signing? Does it surprise you at all?
A little bit, yeah, actually. I did not think he was going to get 5 years. That seemed to be the sticking point from the Penguins and Jarry's reps, but they caved to him, and they're giving him more than the 5x5 contract that Darcy Kemper signed in Washington last year. This is a big gamble. He's been banged up a lot over the last year. You better hope whatever he's been dealing with is gone, because if he continues to be hurt, you're going to be looking pretty foolish with this extension. I would have been fine maybe giving him 1 to 2 years on a deal, but 5, that's a bit much for me. I like him when he's healthy, but you need someone behind him. And right now, I don't know if that's Casey DeSmith. I don't know if that's Alex Nedeljkovic, and I'm sure we'll get to in just a second, but it definitely comes with a lot of risks. That's for sure.
And $5.375 million per year over 5 years. You think that's a little higher than you wanted it to be, or?
I do. Yeah. I don't think his play, even when he's been healthy, I don't think his play has warranted that kind of money and that kind of term just yet. I don't know. It carries a lot of risk. It's a big gamble. And if it doesn't work out and he gets hurt again this season, man, I wouldn't want to be Kyle Dubas up in the press box every night. That's for sure.
Let's shift now to the blue line, and Ryan Graves, one of the bigger free agent defensemen out there, a 6-year deal with an average value of $4.5 million a year. Your thoughts on that move?
I like Ryan Graves. I've honestly known that Mike Sullivan liked him going back to the end of this past season. Honestly, right after it ended, I heard from a couple of people that, yeah, if Ryan Graves is available, don't be surprised if the Penguins signed him. And I talked about him during my free agency preview, not on Friday for my episode, but a couple weeks ago. And I said, yeah, don't be surprised if they do sign him. And sure enough, they did on July 1, 6 years, $4.5 million. I think the term is a bit much. I think he'll definitely help the penalty kill. I like his offensive capabilities. He has a really nice shot from the blue line. He gets a lot of pucks through, even though you're coming in from the blue line. But still, the term is a bit concerning. It's tough if you ask me, but they're obviously replacing Brian Dumoulin. I kind of maybe see him as maybe a mini version of Marcus Pettersson, but someone who can provide you a little more offense. But yeah, I mean, I guess the Noah Hannafin thing fell through because they were in talks with him over the weekend at the draft, and they were trying to get him to be either on the top pairing or the second pairing, but it looks like that may no longer be the case. I'm sure he'll either play on the second pairing, Graves that is, or he'll be Crystal Tank's new partner with Brian Dumoulin going to free agency.
And some of the other moves, I know a few other signings now in Pittsburgh. Your thoughts on those?
I like the Noel Acciari one, 3 years, $2 million. He had double-digit goals this past season, can play fourth-line center for you. So that's your Ryan Poehling replacement, I think. Matt Nieto, another guy who had double-digit goals this past season, solid fourth-liner or just bottom sixer in general. I'm not really upset about those. They're short-term, not a lot of money. The Penguins have been needing a new bottom six, and honestly, both of those players can play on your fourth line. It's the third line where I think is a bit concerning right now. You still have Mikhail Granlund, who didn't really do much after he came over from Nashville. Jeff Carter is still down there. What's going to happen with Jerome Connor? Alex Nedeljkovic, 1 year, $1.5 million. What does that mean now for Casey DeSmith? Is he going to get dangled in a separate trade deal? That's the biggest question, because when you're making $1.5 million for 1 year at the NHL level, I mean, I don't think you're going to be spending time as Wilkes-Barre's starting goaltender with that kind of contract. Casey DeSmith, for those that don't know, he makes $1.8 million going into this last year of his deal, only $300K more. So I'd have to think his days are numbered now in Pittsburgh. And if that happens and he does get moved out, it's a very curious tandem with Jarry and Nedeljkovic, two guys who, I mean, for a team that wants to contend, it's a big risk. But I like the Nieto move and I like the Acciari move. It's a couple of the other ones where I'm questioning it a little bit.
All right. Well, for more on all the offseason moves made by the Penguins, tune in to Locked On Penguins for free on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.